Have at thee.
Good evening, keep it up the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me as every Tuesday, we have Steve the Voice White. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Good day.
We have the one and only Station Fable here with us tonight.
Station guys, what's going on?
He's been lowering himself and coming on my show lately, so thank you, sir.
Slumming, baby,
And,
slumming.
You know, we're gonna get to Hiphopsnme Steve in a second. I was really excited to have him on. Then I found out he knew Nick's Kicks and Comics, kind of dampened it down a little bit for me. Luckily, Fable was there to balance it out. Oh, but hey, we have Nick's Kicks and Comics in the house tonight too. Good evening, Nick. Nice to see you, buddy.
What's up, everybody? Except you, Gary B. You mother.
Of course,
off with a bang already.
Right,
Nice.
the man of the hour, Steve Hiphopsnme. How are you doing tonight, sir? It is great to see you. Great to meet you.
Doing great, Gary B. I'm thanking you. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I've been watching from afar, watching excellent community guests, and you reaching out to me. I'm like, me? You sure?
Yep.
So I'm excited.
Nice.
Thank you for
I'm
having me.
glad. We're gonna do like we normally do. If you've seen the show, give the quick 2 minutes who you are, where people can find you, what you're about, and we'll say hi to the chat, and then we'll come back to you, and we'll start out the 10-1-1.
Sounds great. So it's your boy Steve, Hiphopsnme _comics_collectibles, and you could find me with my buddies on the Team Nerd Herd podcast over at the Nearing Nerdvana YouTube channel. During the week, we encompass a whole bunch of things, different topics. So, we talk about Monday cover lovers. So if you're an art lover of covers, whether it be Virgins or A, B, C, what have you covers, we go over those covers. We talk about the artists. No artists are harmed. We're a little subjective. Some of the stuff we love, some of the stuff we're a little iffy about. On Tuesday, the gals over at the Comic Book Women, they do the market report. So they go over what's hot, what's not, and they pick different topics. So it could be, like Beetlejuice one week. It could be X-Men the next. I mean, they're really that close to pop culture that they're looking at the market over at Cover Price and kind of giving you the 411 if you would. And then Wednesdays is usually free weeks. Thursday it's with the guys Aaron Yeezy and Red Hood Comics and Mr. Long Short for Long Story Short, and they go over some ghost books that are hard to find or stuff that you might have not even seen that you'll be hunting for after, and you'll be cursing them after the show. Friday we close. Yeah, man. Friday we gotta watch them. They're awesome. They're good guys. They've been in the minute.
I think that's the one thing none of us counted on when we started YouTube, right? We got to like, oh, great, we know people with that like the same things we do. Oh crap, they have that. I've never seen it. I want that.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. So those guys always get me on Thursday. I'm like 0 and 10 at times. I'm like, I've never seen that book. Don't even know that book. I just went out recently last Sunday before catching COVID. I was at a comic book show and I found one of the ghost books that they were talking about. And I was like, I'm snatching this up. I haven't seen it, but you remember those things as you see those shows.
You do.
I mean, that's the beauty about it.
I mean, everyone will send you down a different rabbit hole for a different book or series.
For sure.
Except for
that's what's great about it.
Gary's never shown me anything interesting at all. So.
Oh, man.
Hey, all you got to do is open the picture, Nick.
Oh man!
All right, let's go say hi to our chat. So, first bid, as always, we have James Las Cruces. Great to see you, buddy.
Las Cruces.
Always a pleasure. It's not a live show if you don't see Las Cruces. It's
religiously always there, right?
Right.
Nope.
One of my all-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug.
Jerry.
Come on, there it goes. And then he's kind of okay. John's Comics with Kids. How you doing tonight, John? Great to see you, buddy.
What's going on, brother? Good to see you, John. That's my SoCal brethren right there.
Right. A great community supporter. Great to see you, Christine. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for being here.
She is a gem, Christina.
Steve, one of our co-hosts, another one of my favorite people here, Joe from Anachronic Comics,
Hey,
Mr.
Joe.
DVH, and guys, Dr. Von Hoots is our Illuminati shout out of the week. So if you are not subbed up to him, I'll have a video posted later with all his links. You can go sub up to him, but you can also check out the rest of the Illuminati, which is CJ, K-pop.
What?
No, Illuminati, Naughty. That's CJ.
Yeah.
Not your Illuminati.
I can't discuss that.
I wouldn't want to infringe on Nick's Kicks and Comics territory.
Yeah, we're
He
in.
might be on my leg.
My lawyer said not to talk about it, so.
Currently going through legal action.
You, sir.
Dope
Comics,
my brother.
Yeah, too many Illuminatis.
No, they're the Illuminati.
Illuminati. Illuminati. All right, KBDM, good evening, sir.
Hey, KB.
Mr. Digger Jam, good evening, sir. You'll see him
Digger
here Thursday night.
What up? Good to see you.
It's
Cliff
a
on
reprint.
Comics.
Cliff, my boy Cliff on Comics. Good to see you, brother.
All right, yes. Again, another person who's been on the channel a lot and is a fantastic individual. Absolutely love Cliff. Brad Wellbore, great to see you, Brad.
My Canadian brother.
Wellbore, good to see you, brother.
White Walker brother.
Yeah.
Miss Tina Carrington, good evening. One of the best reporters in the business. Thank you, Tina.
Greatest.
Tina is the greatest.
She is the OG-ness.
Rich from Comic Cap Collectibles. You'll see him making his debut in a month or two.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
On this show. But Mr. Kenneth Berg, great to see you, sir. Zach's Collection, who you will see here Thursday night doing a cards 10-1-1.
Oh,
so Zach is here in 2 nights' time. Can't wait.
Has anybody done cards
Zach
yet?
and I have still not met each other. We both live in Rochester. Somehow we haven't bumped into each other yet. We're gonna have to rectify that at some point.
You're doing it right, Zach. You're doing it right. Avoid him like the plague.
You know what, Zach? Probably what Nick said. All right, Fuzzy Dunlop, great to see you.
Hey,
Fuzzy, what's up, brother? What's up?
You don't want a Fuzzy Dunlop,
we
man.
are getting Melanin and Amara, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
My girl Sheena, what's going on, sis?
All right, and I think for the moment we are caught up. So I will just give a quick tip of the hat to anyone else that's joining us as they get their notifications. But for now, Steve, we're going to bring it back to you, sir, and let you start out your 10-1-1 with your first item.
All right. So aside from starting into comic book collecting, I've always been into toys, whether it be designer or just numerous things. But one of these items has, I'll see Jay, only hello. That's it. You only get one. Used to be
I was just going to say it. No more hellos, damn it.
Limited area like that you would get. Some of the artists, they would do like remarks and stuff like that. And one of these artists, his name is Kano King, and he had a line that he did prior to. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I'll open this if any though. Before he did this cool. Monkey King, and it's or Dragon King, I should say, and it's a little vinyl figure of Bruce Lee. I like designer stuff, like very urban stuff. When it comes down to it, and Kano is like one of the dopest guys. This is what the figure looks like right here.
Oh wow, that is cool.
That is great.
Yeah,
like very anime.
And he signed it in the back too, so I'm not sure. You got right in the butt.
Wow.
Right on the butt.
All right, now you can't
Marcus.
You can't bring out a Bruce Lee without saying your favorite Bruce Lee flick.
Oh, it's got to be Enter the Dragon, man. I feel like when I was,
that was a great one.
Absolutely.
You know what?
When I started. Go ahead, Gary.
No, go ahead. Go for it. Oh, so I like Big Boss a lot too, even though that's one of his first that no one ever sees. Big Boss is a good one.
Big Boss, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic, right? I've loved Bruce Lee since forever, since like I was 4. I think when I was, my dad had me in the front, we were watching it, Enter the Dragon, and I was like trying to, DJ Leaks is in the building. Oh, Robert, what's going on? Low grades for life. I was 4, and I remember us walking through this place, this studio in like North Hollywood, and I was just there. My dad's like, "You wanna do martial arts?" And it all started just because of Bruce Lee. I mean, I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I do. But watching Enter the Dragon and a lot of his flicks, I mean, on KTLA back in the day and over here in Cali, just inspired me. And I just had a love for Bruce Lee, still do to this day. Even
And
more
his
so, I have
interviews
a
are so great to
SHBR.
watch too. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh
That's the
yeah, I
classic.
mean, just full of knowledge. Died so young. I mean, his son died so young. It just saddens me. But I mean, when you go back and look at a lot of these things or read his book, I mean, there's so much knowledge that kind of goes into it. I mean, a lot of influences that he had, and a lot of influence in himself. You know, that just really, gone too soon. But some of the figures that he had, freaking awesome. I love a lot of these figures.
Yeah, they're talking about the gravesite of Bruce Lee. Tina's been there.
Oh, I would love to go there
Yeah,
one
and
day.
DJ said he was, oddly enough, he was there today.
He was just there.
No, he means
Yeah.
Midtown Collectible.
Oh, Midtown. Oh, okay.
Midtown Comics, he meant.
Yeah, but the Bruce,
Hey, man,
yeah,
lucky guy.
I think anyone that's 30 or above, Bruce Lee was a part of your childhood.
Yeah.
100%.
He
Yeah,
died
you
11
practice
days.
nunchucks and hit yourself.
I mean, for Nick and I, he was part of our first adult years. So, just kidding.
Not as old. He died 11 days before I was born.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I just remember like whatever Bruce Lee was in, just eating it up as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I still go back and watch a lot of those movies, or even anything like Influence, like The Last Dragon. What about Bruce Leroy? Come on now.
Last
things-
Dragon's good. I like that. I haven't seen that since the 80s, though. I have to watch that again.
But
Oh, yeah,
his
you got
his whole school even has ties into stuff that you don't think about. Like having watched Ahsoka, the lady who played, what was her name? Anyway, the female lead in Ahsoka, the villain, was is Dan Inosanto's daughter, who Dan Inosanto was his sparring partner. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's one of his first students at that. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the characters he inspired, especially like in video games, like Liu Kang and Fei Long, and that's all Bruce Lee, man.
Fei Long, 100%,
Yeah.
dude, 100%.
Right?
His-
You know,
his-
he's
his
talking
time
about his
lives
role
on
as
there.
Kato.
Yep.
even
Oh,
integrated
yeah.
into sneaker culture. I mean, you have the Kobe Bruce Lees that were one of the hottest shoes out there. So
And
sure,
you
Nick
can't
and
mention
Nick,
Bruce
bro.
Lee without Jackie Chan.
That's true. That's true. Or Donnie Yen, for that matter, when he did it, like Ip Man, Bruce
Right?
Lee's.
Donnie
teacher.
Yen's amazing. So when I
Oh,
grew up
yeah.
too, Steve, I don't know if you were a fan, because not only was I watching the Bruce Lee movies, and it was really cool when you had him and Chuck Norris in the same movie, right? But
Return of the Dragon.
I was also growing up on Michelle Yeoh, so I was watching the Heroic Trio and all her old movies like that. The ones that you can't even find them digitally now or on DVD. I had them on VHS back in the day.
Is that me? Laura?
Oh, Steve's frozen on us. Well, look, he's frozen a happy place.
That's
Yeah,
California.
oh, it's
California internet.
Is that my connection?
It's got to
Yeah.
be. You got dial
Yeah,
up
we're
going
all
on or
good.
what?
All right, you're back.
No,
So you
By
didn't get
AOL,
any of that, huh?
no, I got parts of it.
Ma, get off the phone.
I haven't-
Get off the
Right?
phone.
I have the door closed.
So, and Rad saying, Jet Li.
Oh yeah.
So, were
Jet
you a
Li.
fan of Michelle Yeoh too, like the Heroic Trio films and stuff like that growing up?
That was that part of like Sammo Hung too that was involved in that kind of mixture?
Yeah,
of
it was.
movies?
They're all around the same era.
Right.
But the Heroic Trio was 3 women, and that was just a lot of fun. And they
Yeah,
did 2
I don't
movies with that, but I remember watching anything with Michelle Yeoh, Bruce Lee in it. Just it was a must watch.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All right, number
Let me
2,
open
sir.
Let me crack this. Open this door real quick. But this way the internet can get through. 1 second. Sorry.
Right.
Getting through. Getting through. Technical difficulties. Rebuilding. Yeah, nobody pulled off the yellow Adidas Russian starter kit
Sorry, guys.
than Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Oh
you're
yeah,
good,
that
man.
jumpsuit. I couldn't even fit in one in my younger days.
well,
Yeah.
Uma Thurman came close, but
She
Bruce,
did.
Bruce
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
God
Dude,
bless
it
her
was-
soul,
it
right?
Just the dude's speed alone was fun to watch.
Oh, I mean, him kicking that bag and destroying it was just seriously like you step back and you're like, who does that?
Yeah.
Bruce Lee does,
right?
You know what I
Or
mean?
the 1 inch punch.
Oh yeah, just
Oh,
or
yeah.
like the push-ups with like 2 fingers. My dad used to do that, and I'm like, would be like, that's crazy, Dad. I can't even.
Well, if you didn't weigh anything, then it's easy.
Yeah,
You know
true.
what I
True.
thought would be
That boy was
easy, but
ripped.
it's not, because like doing regular push-ups isn't bad. It's fine, right? You can knock off sets of 20. It's not a big issue.
I
But I'm like,
couldn't
all
do
right,
one.
push-ups are fine. I'm gonna do them with my knuckles now. That's a whole different game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hang
Like
on, I'm
I-
gonna do some
Yep.
I was
curls.
like, 2 push-ups in. I'm
Curls.
like, this shit
Yeah.
hurts.
Or doing them on the back of your hands too. That hurts too.
Oh,
Jesus
what?
Christ.
I've never done that. I've only done them regular. I went to do them on the knuckles. I'm like, I need to hit the punching bag for a while and toughen up the knuckles before I do those.
Just punch
For
some
sure.
walls.
Oh,
So
that's
my
okay, though.
second. Oh, I'm sorry. My
No, you're
my
good.
second.
Go ahead.
My second. I used to collect pops before too, and I had a lot of the archive stuff. And then I ended up jumping into comic books and figure collecting as well. But I had a chance to meet Stan Lee during the time that it was like towards his end of towards the end of his life. He wasn't all there. His handler would say he's going to be really quick. He might say a thing or two. But to be able to meet him, to be able to thank him for his work in the industry, and just to be a part of it, I got one of these pops that are more of the archived ones. I mean, it's a Japan release. It's harder to find, but I had him sign it in gold. It's a glow in the dark Spider-Man for
Oh,
the Amazing
sweet.
Spider-Man 2. This is
Nice.
super hard to
Wow.
find. At this point, like the price for it, it's like $1,600.
What?
But to be able to get it signed,
Holy
yeah,
crap.
yeah.
That's
It's one of
nuts.
the like archived pops that you'll find. A lot of collectors kind of like try to look for these things like Planet Arlia Vegeta or Hollow Darth Maul. Those are like the grail pieces. This being one of the grails, it's harder to find, and it's a chase. So it came from Japan. So boom.
These
Wow.
manufacturers of this pops, man, they got a gold mine on their hand doing this stuff.
Yeah, as of
And-
now, I mean, you're looking at the archive stuff because anything else, it's so mass marketly produced and everything like that. Or
Yeah.
if you were trying to get in, you'd do a lot of the Comic Con stuff and try to
Yeah, the
kind of fare
exclusives.
your way that way, depending if you were trying to sell or whatnot.
Right.
And that's still a pretty, for the age that you got him to sign that. That's a pretty good. That's a good day signature for him.
Yeah. That's true.
That is a good day. It's
Oh, yeah.
almost
That's
legible.
good.
Yeah, this was an awesome experience. And it was right before prices were like skyrocketing. I know the market's saturated with books and stuff like that, so I wanted to kind of get something different, something that I would remember it by. I mean, it's always going to be up here, but something physical. I
Right.
You get a
figured why
picture
not?
with them too?
No, I didn't get a chance to get a
Damn.
picture with him like I wanted. He was like just trying to get you in and out. Pictures
Yeah,
were like
right.
later in the day, and I just he had a long line.
Before it was like weekend at Bernie stand, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Walk
the
down the
important
beach.
thing, yeah, the important thing is you got the memory, you have the experience, and I mean, that being said, you got my address, right, Steve?
Yeah, I sure do. Deep in the heart of Texas, brother. I know where you're at.
All right, you don't have to ship that priority, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'll see you there.
My
But
bad.
Nick does like a nice steaming dump in a hot box sent to him. He absolutely loves it.
I don't know if I would go that far to send him that. Just
Throw your boys.
All right, number 3, sir.
No
Number
flaming paper
3.
bag for you on the stoop.
All right. So coming back into collecting, there's so many things that you like see that you want to get. I'm constantly like in different lines and stuff like that. But Batman being one of my favorite characters, I love Batman. I love street level villains. Everything else is like that. It's great as far as like cosmic superheroes, but I like the street levels like Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil. But I like Batman the most. Like, I got this Vesco Batman figure
Wow.
with
Oh, Lord.
with
Nice.
a custom cape by Harker Customs. When I like buy certain things, I want to make sure like if I do shelf it and it's like in a detoll off or the shelves like behind me, I always look to kind of just separate things from everybody else's collection. I ended up getting this McFarlane bike because I thought like, hey, this would look good. And I do have like smoke effects and like that stuff like that, but
That's
I just
cool.
love the look of Batman. I mean, I love the Sovereign Knight. I feel like Mezco killed it when in their offerings when it comes to soft goods, when it comes to a little more expensive thing like figures that they produce, they've gotten better by leaps and bounds. They have their own lines. They have the DC like label. They have a Marvel label, and they're just constantly like making strides. Every time I try to get out of collecting Mezco, I find myself coming back in. So
And
Now,
that's
where-
a
where is
one
that bike
club's like
from?
Oh, go
Huh?
ahead, Fable.
No, I was just say, where's that bike from? What specifically are they creating there?
So this was from McFarlane, but this is from the White Knight series. I just saw the bike and I was like, you know what? Like this one to me, it just embodies what he would ride. It freaking let me see.
I was like, yeah, there's got to be guns in the front, right?
Oh yeah,
It
of
does
course.
seem-
There's guns in the front. Gary B. It wouldn't be Batman if it makes that the
Oh,
extended
God
cab.
damn, it extends too. Jeez,
Holy
we're getting
Yeah,
turned
crap,
on
so
over here.
oh, I'm already there
Now
with
it's a
you.
chopper.
You know?
See, he's against the handguns, but he'll shoot the hell out of you with motorcycle guns.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got
Pew,
that
pew,
leaned
pew,
out
pew.
Batman too. Like, what's your favorite? Do you like Fat Oprah or Skinny Oprah or Batman?
I think one of my favorites is
Yeah.
the Hush Batman, Jim Lee's Hush Batman
Yeah.
series. I mean that I have figures for that. It's like all the way in the corner. I'd have to bend over and be a plumber, but I have
And
that
it'll
that
freeze
figure
right
as
when you
well.
do it.
Yeah,
Now, what's your favorite?
kind of.
Let's try
What's
that
your
out.
favorite bat costume? Like mine's still the yellow emblem with the gray suit
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
blue cape.
OG baby, OG.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would has to be top tier for me. Like
That's
the
a
Jim
Keaton.
Lee costume was perfect. I like even his God the backbreaker issue with
Oh, with Bane.
Oh, Bane.
was
Yeah,
the Bane with him in the blue with the
Yeah.
yellow emblem.
yeah.
Top tier for me.
And I
So-
thought the Affleck suit was nice too.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah,
to,
that was
so to piggyback off Steve's question, who is your Batman actor,
oh man.
and who is your
You know what?
who is your favorite Batman artist? Is it Jim Lee?
Yeah, Jim Lee drew Batman like to me to like and when the Hush series, when I saw the animated series as well, when they started producing DC animation, I love that series. I mean, I feel like DC does movies, I mean, top tier or animated movies top tier, and they're kind of
Oh, yeah.
gearing into kind of setting the stage for DC to make a huge splash. Some of the movies have been great, but I feel when I watch Hush, what up, chef? What's cooking, baby? When I watched the animated series for Hush, I was like, this is beyond my greatest expectation. Then going reading the series, I'm like, damn, Jim Lee could do no wrong. He just kills it. I mean, there's a lot of great storylines. I mean, the Court of Owls,
Mhm.
like Frank Miller's run when he was Old Man Batman. I just, for me, it's Jim Lee. I think he's top tier when it comes to drawing Batman.
Right. Well, Jim Lee is he's one of those guys. He's always going to be in the conversation now, right? He's been great for so long. He's
Mhm.
like in that Neil Adams tier and the
Oh yeah, for sure.
the Lopez tier. Jim Lee has achieved that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he's just. I mean, to get to him, to be able to be at a con, just the experience alone. I mean, I would remember that as just as well. Neil Adams, 100%. Where are my manners?
Right. Who was it? Someone I forgot. Someone on YouTube's got a funny Jim Lee story. I think it might be Nauman. All right, number 4, sir.
All right, so number 4, I'm gonna continue to double dip with Mezco. I feel like when we're talking about different properties and some of the newer properties that they have, or even they're older, there's this Hood character. It's Vapor, and he's like a New York, one of their New York lines. But it came in in such a like a novelty packaging. It came in with like some of these old school like steel tin lunch boxes.
Oh, okay.
That's
cool.
So
okay.
there's like a little scene front and back. You get the side throwing up. I mean, hip hop's one of the biggest influences I had growing up. In the 90s, I used to b-boy back then. A lot of my friends used to graph. And in listening to a lot of the music, I mean, it's a time, and 80s and 90s are a time of music where I was hitting like mass amounts of shows and seeing different artists. They were like more tangible where you would be able to talk with them, kind of get their insight on some of the albums or some of the songs they wrote. I mean, I've been to a ton of shows and just a ton of memories.
Right, and back then they would still play smaller venues when you could get up close to them.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was the best part about it, because to see him now, I mean, it's so hard. I mean, my most memorable show would have been it was Rock the Bells. I got to see Tribe Called Quest all together, like reunited, and even then, Fife and Q-Tip were arguing on stage. Like I was right there, you could see him arguing, and you hear Q-Tip's like, "Man, I'm just trying to get by and scoot along," and then all of a sudden, you would never think like they were fighting. All of a sudden, the beat drops and they just dropped that shit and hit the song. It was just like timeless. And then Nas closed it out. I mean, Nas is another great from New York, man. I mean, I just love that show. Common was there, Immortal Technique, Tumex. I mean, it was stacked and it was great memory. So I mean,
I'm wondering how'd the guy get the name Q-Tip?
And
I mean, I guess he loved Q-Tips.
And I still think like the late 90s was one of the most solid eras for
like fire he's got in hand. Is that a lighter? Like he's got a lighter going in hand?
It's a spray can he's getting up.
Oh, the spray can. Okay. I see.
Spray can with the B-boy stance.
Yeah, in late 90s for R&B was one of the best eras too, right? When you had like, I just remember listening to Tony Braxton every day.
Mary J.
Yep. And her albums, and just and one of my all-time favorites, but nobody ever talks about him, and I don't know why. Wyclef.
Yeah, Fugees.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, every single one of Wyclef's CDs is incredible from beginning to end.
Yeah, he really has a mind for music.
And he was just one of the better freestylers. He could just he could just start out of nowhere and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Steve,
yeah, for sure.
Quick question for you, brother. If they come out with the figure of the Olympic B-boy dancer lady, are you gonna get that one?
Ray gun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she got tore up. That poor girl. Jesus. that would be an exclusive, right? That would be something that
exclusive, right?
Yeah, man. That's one I'll never pass up, right? I might spin on the ground just to get it, get to it. You know what I mean? Oh my God, that poor girl.
Okay, maybe we can get you and Fable to do a little breakdance in that style.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
couldn't imagine how Steve would have been growing up out here, man. This is the home of all that stuff.
That's the mother right there.
Well, plus we even had the movies, right? We had Breakin' 2, Electric
Wild Style,
all that stuff.
Beat Street. Yeah, Beat Street is a classic for me. I think that's how I started breakdancing. I would be like rewinding Crazy Legs and all the other, B-boys that were hitting moves and stuff like that. Once it hits like California, like it just you had like what's it called? You had LA Breakers crew that just kind of took things into a different direction. Still in the same, right? Because it's all in the same element, but I mean, it just went worldwide. I mean, to see it in the Olympics, aside from Raygun, right? To see all these B-boys, like people that I've come to see in jams and stuff like that, or even like in talking with, like in jams, it's amazing. Like to see like Ronnie, announcing and doing his announcing thing. I know that boy like over in Vegas and like Full Force Crew and everything like that when he did Jabberwockies. It's just amazing to see where it went and where it's going. Too bad. I mean, I was hoping it'd come to LA, but I don't think it's in the docket. So
no, I think this was the first and only year they did it.
Yeah, it bummed me out. It bummed me out because they're going to be in LA this, for the next one. So it's like,
it's crazy what ticket prices are these days. I feel bad that I used to complain when I was young.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can only imagine how. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, crazy. I used to complain about a $40 ticket.
Right.
And then a $40 T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? If I bought a T-shirt at the concert, it was $30 for the T-shirt. I paid $40 for the ticket. So But now everything's just nuts. You pay a couple $100 for a ticket easy a lot of times.
Yeah.
Easily.
So they better come on for that encore,
2 encore.
right? Flag football next year, yeah. All right, number
Even
5,
Mike.
sir.
All right, number 5. I just got this in yesterday. It is a Marvel Legend, and then I'm double dipping with this Mayfex line because it's Spider-Man. You got to have the line, but this came from like a Walmart exclusive. Venom.
Venom action.
Marvel. The thing about Marvel Legends is they're revamping and they're always getting better at some of their figures. This is like on a classic Omega Red body. Todd McFarlane-esque face. And they're just constantly getting better with their modifications, right? They're going pinless tech. They're really digging deep on articulation. I feel like if you are going to be having like shelves, or if you're into like photography, a lot of the toy community, they do like ACBA, articulated comic book art. And I feel like it just kind of goes hand in hand. You got Spider-Man, going on there.
Oh yeah, big time
Yo,
articulation.
what up, Justin?
Oh,
Very
nice.
good comics. And I
You
try
got
to.
Venom in the classic pose with the Hamlet homage, right? With the skull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That, or just if you turn the fist around, you can get him in suffocating the shit out of Spider-Man. You just got to pose him in that right way. But yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of circling back. I'm like a cherry picker of Marvel Legend figures. They're great. They're great to kind of showcase with comics that you have. It just takes your collection up a notch. But yeah, I mean, I love getting this figure in. I've been posing this thing all day at work, just kind of posing them in different positions and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and then
So are you into figure photography?
I haven't ventured down that route yet, but that's the idea. Like I do get like some dioramas commissioned. As you could tell back here, there's an old acai beer place, a little Tokyo little, there's a bus stop right behind me right there. And then there's
you need the Lexus for the bonus round.
Oh yeah. There'll be some more stuff. Don't worry. More to come.
And
But
Katie's saying that you need to do figure photography.
Yeah, that's the next thing. I mean, I kind of have to circle back to like getting lighting, getting a camera. Right now, I would use my phone, but it just the time. Fable's sitting there like, Figgy Friday, my ass. You better be posting some pictures.
Listen, I was saving that for the end of the show.
I've been telling Fable, like, because this is the first time. This is like the first set, right? Throwing it up right here. I've been kind of in a corner in the other room. So I've been just trying to get my office together. This is like in different parts, and it's still a scattered mess. But you're getting pictures, Fable. Most definitely. I mean, Biggie Friday is a staple. It should be a staple for me. No more excuses. No more excuses.
No more.
Well, you know Fable won't let you off the hook either.
That's my brother, and I want him to hold me to it. I even tell him when we're commenting in the back, I'm like, you know what, Fable? I'm sorry, man. I know I have these figures. He's like, I'm saying, when you're gonna throw them up. So no more excuses.
He's subtle about it. He just throws you in those tags, right? I was like, look,
yeah, no,
you.
and it's great because I mean it's
like Big Brother, right?
This whole community movement. Yeah, it's the brother. It's basically my brother telling me, come on.
And if you can't, blame Fable.
Right?
I do. I mean, there's pictures that he has of figures that he has. And I'm like, do I get in Transformers or not? I'm like,
oh man, another rabbit hole.
Brother. But that's the love of a brother, man. He's always gonna each one teach one. Don't hide it, divide it.
Right?
If I could be so kind to double, like even triple dip, man. I mean, I got this Thor.
It's called the Travato clause.
Yeah, right? With this custom cape. Like again. I love
that's nice.
The plastic does no justice to it. I mean, again, you just want to, have a different look on your collection.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you could always paint them too, right?
Yeah, you could just
So-
get a simple black wash, you know, get with black paint, alcohol, kind of
Mhm.
hit your figure over it, and it kind of just makes it look natural, you
I
know.
did that with my leads all the time with the D&D leads.
Oh yeah, all right.
When I
Yo,
could when
Rage
I
and
could see.
my brother.
And now you
Hey,
obviously you take every figure out of the box, huh? Is there any you keep in the
Oh yeah.
box?
there is. Before we even started the show, there's bins in the front room. I have them. Some collectibles, like LA Comic Con, SDCC. Some of the things I will like hold if I'm looking to kind of sell them later, because it funds the hobby, right? I mean, if you're doing, hey Justin, send me your address and you might get one. You never know. Um,
Hey.
you know, like it's kind of hard to say, you know, what they're like convention collectibles, they fetch more money. So if for some reason I'm looking to kind of bank myself into something else, or I want to buy something, I might just say, okay, well, let me hold this, let me sit on this, let me see where the market is, and then I might jump to that. But for the most part, I mean, I like to open all my figures. I like to pose them. I mean, especially if I'm trying to get into ACBA eventually, it's going to require me to like look up you know, pictures of comics, or look up anatomy and stuff like that. That's the beauty about that, because I mean, people could pose figures, but to have it look like lifelike, or something that, yo, Sith as F, what's going on, my brother? Um, yeah, I mean, I'm for the most part, I open my figures. There's some stuff in the front room that I had to move that were in this room, otherwise it would have collapsed on me and we wouldn't be having the show.
Nice.
Yeah, but figures could be worse than comics at times. I mean, the prices, the aftermarket
yeah.
on figures is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Especially if you get into those hot toys.
Yo, the Hot Toys is something I've kind of fought. I mean, I look at DJ Lynx's channel and his
Oh my
collection.
God.
It's absurd. And my friend Big Rob, he has a bunch of 1/6 scale figures. I fought
Mhm.
that. To me, I feel like 1/12 is a great spot. It's a great spot to be in. And like Fable, you're the marketplace is different. I feel like in comics it's derived from like spec, or you know, like you have classic books. If some get steam, they'll like jump through the roof. With toys, you pretty much know what you're getting. It's a tangible thing. Conventions are double or nothing, you know, or you just kind of work your way around making a profit versus,
And,
you know, kind of
and
breaking
it's
even.
not just about boxed anymore either. You don't have to have them in box. You can have them loose, and you get a pretty penny for some loose figures.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's not too, because just a little standard like bubble card with a little figure on it. I mean, those things start at $20 now. That's just a base price for like even the smallest ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you get into the ones that have the superposability that come with. Then you can order accessory packs, and you're looking at $30 to $40 for just a figure that's like the old GI Joe size, the little small ones.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
O-rings.
Three
Yeah,
and a
people
quarter.
Yeah.
love those figures. Anything vintage like really does fetch a lot of good money, because it's things that we grew up in our childhood. I mean,
Yep.
when I used to live in North Hollywood, you know, my parents, used to have Masters of the Universe. I used to have
yeah.
Star Wars, GI Joes, and I
Yeah.
never really like played with my action figures like I pose them now. I mean, I was like grabbing them by the leg. I was just so anal about keeping the condition. And when we left to move here in the burbs, my parents left all my stuff in the garage in the apartment,
Mm.
and when we went back, they were gone, just gone. And I'm like, you know how much money
Mm.
that could be now? Like I had Castle Grayskull, some of the freaking vehicles. I had the Darth Vader case full of like Star Wars. It hurts me now, because it's like, imagine the money I could have gotten, you know, like invested in it somewhere else, or just in the hobby alone. I mean, you just never know where those prices are going to land.
Now,
Newer
have you
stuff.
got into the Boss Fight Studio figs at all? The hacks?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into
Because
boss fight. But
they're small, but man, are they detailed and beautiful. But again, you're looking at $40 for a little fig.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they got lines like Popeye. I mean, they created
Well,
their
Flash
own.
Gordon, they do a lot of licenses. Plus, but they started out with their own figures.
Yeah, and now they're getting really popular. It's great to see like newer toy companies like ramping up and just kind of making a name for themselves. It's just brother JD, you know I got you, brother. Come on. Yeah, it's great to see like newer companies come into the market and then grow and then just make a name for themselves. Because when you think about the bigger fish, you're thinking about Mattel, Hasbro. They already have so many licenses. I mean, they're the top dog, top tier. And a lot of people will kind of praise them. And some people are like, you guys make this much money and we get things like little accessories with our figures, where like smaller companies that are coming up, they understand like, well, we were collectors too. We want to get a fan base. If we're going to get a fan base, we got to give them way more bang for their buck. And they really do. I mean, I'm about to show you like one right now in a few.
All right, let's see. Well, and you know what's weird though is you haven't shown anything horror yet. I thought you might be a little bit into the horror, but we'll see.
Starter?
Don't
Huh?
influence the guest.
He's frozen again.
Don't influence the guest, Gary.
I'm back.
The raging Cajun wants to see
What were
more
you saying,
Cobra.
Gary?
I said I'm
more
like
Cobra.
no, I like horror. I thought you might have some horror. I don't know if you're a horror guy or not.
I am. I love horror. I love horror movies. I love horror comics. I did have some horror figures. I ended up selling them, like Michael Myers, a Mezco Michael Myers, a Freddy Krueger. I do have an Aliens Rhino back here.
Oh,
Actually.
cool.
Oh, the NECA?
Man. Yeah, the NECAs.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that.
That's
Yeah, the
cool.
NECAs are nice.
Shit, that articulates.
Yeah, it's
nice
just like from
too.
the old
Holy
video
crap.
game. Translucent
Okay.
plastic.
Yeah, I think I got the
Scary.
NECA McCready's from the thing.
Got the little snapper
Yeah,
jaw
I
that
mean,
comes out of it. That's cool.
Yeah, suck that back in. Yeah, these figures are really detailed. I mean, NECA's come a long way as well, and they don't break the bank. They're like $30, $40 at times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right, and the art and their packaging's fantastic too. Cosmic One says he's been real happy with NECA Horror. Pat, good evening.
sorry, I don't know why this never does it usually.
Buffering.
Yeah, I know.
You're
He's just bringing too much heat. It's freezing up the stream.
This is ridiculous. I'm sorry,
Cobra,
guys.
la, 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 la.
Normally my it could be I'm in it because I'm in a different room. I don't know, but it shouldn't. The internet should be hitting it,
Damn California.
or at
Right.
least should be. My bad.
So we had
Are
Spider-Man,
we back?
Venom, Thor was our last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now we're on number 6. Okay.
Yeah. So, talking about newer companies, right? Newer companies coming into the market that have started action figures and have grabbed this line. I'm going to go with Jada Toys Street Fighter
Jada.
Oh,
figure.
yeah, there we go.
They are about they're about $20 on the market. You got Ryu and Ken. Got to have Ryu and Ken, right? They're about $20. There's the new company. They did die-cast cars in the beginning, and then they got their feet wet with figures like the Street Fighter line. They're almost done with the line. They've already announced all the figures, so you got a full roster. I have a Fei Long and a Chung Li. I have a M Bison right here with a cloth cape. They're really like perfecting by leaps and bounds. The articulation, like imports usually cost you around $65 to like 80 and above. They range 55. For the price, these figures just automatically compete with like anything import. And they pose well. They come with accessories, stands, effect pieces, heads, different hands. For $20, $25, I mean, you can knock that. And then they have this is what I'm talking about. The companies that are coming in that are saying, "Hey, we want to make a name for ourselves. We want to come out and get a fan base." And just their third wave they're going to release is going to be Guile, DJ, and they're going to have Cammy. But they at SDC at San Diego Comic-Con they release like T-Hawk, Zangief,
Nice.
Honda, Blanca, Vega, Saget. They got Akuma, and then they have their exclusives. They have Evil Ryu, they have Violent Ken, another Chung Li. I mean, they're just killing it. And not only that, but they also like acquired Capcom Nintendo licenses like Mega Man. So they're doing like Mega Man figures.
Somebody's got to use Soul Calibur though.
Oh, I mean, you would like to see that eventually, right? I mean, you never know. some of these companies get these lines, they make them their own. They start to, I mean, I would expect, I mean, Jada to pick up more fighting games. I heard that they're going to do, they're going to come out with Mortal Kombat. Storm Collectibles had it for the line for a second. So they're going to end up probably inheriting that. Let's hope. But they started doing like Cyberpunk, like video game properties like Cyberpunk.
Wow.
They have figures that are going to be coming out in the market, and those figures are amazing. I mean, being able to see them grow and acquire a line like, I mean, Street Fighter, Jesus Christ. I mean, this.
Now, are you a gamer
Pick up
too,
the
then?
Dalsum?
Yeah, I do play games here and there. I'm more of a Nintendo Switch guy. I mean, I do like Street Fighter. Nothing's like the arcade cabinets ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry about that, guys. Nothing's going to be like the arcade cabinets. Those days are like putting the quarter right there. I got next. To me, I played Street Fighter numerous times in the arcade with friends, and it was just an awesome time. But I do go back and pick up the collections when I can. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'd like to see is a
Von
Bushido
Hoot, Dr.
blade.
Von Hoot, you got to pick these up. Oh, yeah, that too. I would love to see more. I would like to see more video game properties come into like at a fair price rate, because you don't necessarily have to get into the market to buy different like these more expensive figures. There's other options, and if it doesn't break the bank and it allows you to collect comics on the side as well, I mean, you just got to find a line and then just jump in.
Okay, so out of all these things, I'm like, you have all these great figures, right? But what's the one property you haven't seen anyone make a figure out of that you'd like to see?
Oh man,
You could get your dream fig.
it's kind of hard. A dream fig? I think I have. I mean, toy collectors are eating well. I mean, they're different lines. Aside from Street Fighter, I used to play SNK. I'm not sure if you heard of this video game. It's King of Fighters. With
Yep.
Terry Bogard, Joe Higashi, Andy Bogart, and Storm Collectibles is doing those figures. I mean, they have that property hasn't got as much love as I would like to see. But anything SNK, like they're doing Samurai Showdown, and they're adding those figures in. I'd like to see more Fatal Fury. I'd like to see, aside from just Terry Bogard, I'd like to see a Joe Higashi figure, Andy Bogard, a Duckman. Freaking, they did Mai already. Her and her little, foo-foo body.
I used to
what
play
I mean?
Samurai. I used to play Samurai Showdown on the 3DO.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're taking it way back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those figures, they do Samurai Showdown. They're gonna do the bigger guy, the mountain guy, that fat guy. They already have a prototype. It looks amazing. I mean,
That's
it's
a
just
good call, DVH.
That means Nick was rich.
Yeah.
No, I had a girlfriend.
Dr. Von Hoot, let me tell you right now, there's this company called Ramen Toys, and they're doing they just released a van concept. And they're doing like a standard white van, your creeper van. They're doing a straight black van. They're doing a van like that kind of harkens to Punisher's, van.
Oh, like his van.
But they're the major like takeaway that the gimme is they're doing the A-Team van, and that thing in color with all the parts like magnetic pieces. Ramen Toys is definitely a company that's coming up. They're in Singapore, and that they did when Hasbro did the Engine of Vengeance or the Engine of Greed, and it didn't make the mark. They did a car. I have the car right here. I'd have to lean over and grab it. It's huge, but they have they made accessory pieces to do like ooh, look at that. Dun, 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 dun. Damn,
I
Steve,
know you're
that's dope.
singing the song, eh? You're singing
Oh
the
yeah,
song.
we don't want to get kicked off. It's bad enough that I have some like dial-up bandwidth right now. This is embarrassing.
I never really wanted a Transformer until I saw the Knight Rider one that they
Ooh.
just
Oh,
released. I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Fable got some
Doing
of those
all the
mashups.
80s.
Those mashups.
That Knight
are cool.
Rider one's incredible.
Yeah. Again, Fable. I blame Fable. I'm always like a phone fingertip away from like buying my first Transformer. I'm like, don't do
Push
it.
the button, do it.
You say that, but it's you that actually inspires me, because I knew you had all this stuff before, and when I was getting into it, I was like, I want to get on Steve's level.
Oh
So
man, it'll just get you in trouble, brother. You know,
Just sell the house
you'll have
now.
bad, you'll
Just
have
sell
bad
the
internet
house.
for God's sakes. You know,
At least you know
Yeah,
Fable's
see?
looking in your windows when you're not looking.
Eating
Yeah.
ramen. Maybe we'll
I
pay
think
the
I
hydro
might
bill.
have created Figgy Friday because of Steve. I might have said,
oh man, I
just trying to get him to jump out the window.
So you had a
Oh.
couple of shout outs in here. We got people thinking, right? So Gore said the original Blade Runner. He'd like to see figures of that.
Ooh, that would be cool.
DVH
That
would
would
like
be
to see
cool.
Grease 2 Hot Toys.
Ooh, that would. I bet you if they did that, a Hickey from
Grease
Kaneki
lightning.
would. Oh man, that would be awesome, actually. Because a lot of those movie properties would sell. I mean, for God's sakes, look at Star Wars, Iron Man. How many Iron Mans
Oh,
do they
yeah.
have
Right?
from Hot Toys to do like something like a Grease figure? That could sell. I mean, there's always a niche for
Beetlejuice figs.
Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah,
They got a
Beetlejuice,
Mezco
yeah.
figure that looks exactly like Michael Keaton. It's like, we come for your daughter, Chuck.
Nice.
I'm on the fence. I'm like, come on, man. Like, my pockets don't run deep. You know how much overtime I got to do? Jesus.
Oh no, let's get some Hell Comes to Frogtown figures. That would be fun.
Oh, or Battletoads. What about that? There's some like Metroid figures. There's so many things, like so many licenses people have that are sitting on that. Like I said, toy collectors are eating good. I mean, I figure
toy
I always
sellers.
tell myself I'm gonna stop like for a minute and just kind of just let myself rest. And there's the new figures that come in every time.
Nope.
And I'm just
So I gotta
like,
keep that.
they calling
Keep the
me.
vein. Keep the
Yeah.
vein
Yeah.
tapped, baby. Keep the
We
vein
were
Yeah,
tapped.
talking
right in
about
there.
Mr. Longshort earlier. We got to talk about Hiphopsnme now. He's giving us all FOMO.
Right?
Oh man.
All right, number
I
7,
mean-
Steve.
All right, let's go with okay. Let's kind of go with this big beast over here.
Yes.
Oh,
Don't
I
worry,
did not know
Raging.
that, Katie.
I'm gonna show you some Cobra figures. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
But-
baby. Come on. Bring it.
All right, so we got the Vamp, but a Vamp that is freaking fresh to death,
Holy crap! Look at that.
modded out. Oh, I almost
Jesus.
dropped that sucker. Can you
Wow.
imagine me dropping it? There's this third-party company. You know, like I'm all about creators coming up. Again, I love to see somebody's dream kind of come out and to fruition. You know, like, and I like companies that offer different things. I want to be able to put something on the shelf and somebody look at it and be like, "Wait, that's not the regular release. Where'd you get this and this and this?"
Yeah.
I mean, it just sets your collection off differently. But there's this company by the name of Gridiron Studios. Look at that tire, that spare tire with the jack.
Jesus. Yep.
The
Yeah, the
cannon.
details
I
on
want the
that are
actual
insane.
Jeep though. I don't want the toy. I want the real deal, man.
Oh man, imagine.
That's like
But,
Mad Max style, man.
Oh yeah, it's coming at you. So this basically third party company. It's called Gridiron Studios. They do a lot of 3D printed work for the GI Joes. The thing about Hasbro is they'll give you these bendy like little weapons. They're like warping
Oh,
like a
yeah.
limp noodle
Crap.
and everything like that.
Right.
And I hate that. I'm like, you're spending money on the figure. You guys make billions of dollars off of people. Why
Come
not
on,
use
make
different plastic to give
Yeah.
like just get more bang for your buck? It's almost stupid. I mean, they're in sales, right? You would think you're going to get more business if you give the top tier type of thing for your fans. They're going to want to buy more. They're going to, I mean,
Like,
in
nobody
GI
wants
Joe,
a
you're
bent
like
gun.
army building.
It's like getting a bent sword with a Conan figure. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well,
Jeez, I
this
want to play
company,
with that right now.
yeah, this I believe me. But when we get off of here, I'm going to be rolling it around the hallway like an idiot.
Making the noises. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Cobra.
Taking it real back. But
Yo.
oh yeah, and my boy Chef be knowing about Valaverse as well. But this this company, it's they're called Gridiron Studios. They're on Instagram. Highly recommend if you're a toy collector, you want to soup up your GI Joes with like weapons or things of this nature. I mean, these aren't the tires they came with. I mean,
No,
these are
that
like
is not like
add-on
the one in the
tires.
comic.
Yeah, like an add-on grill. There's a sectional piece for the hood. There's this side mount for like a gunner. You know,
So that's completely
top-
customized by you.
Oh yeah,
Completely
that is not the comic
customized.
book, man. Not at all.
Yeah, this is sick. I love it. It's realistic touch, and I like the fact that they're constantly, you know, giving fans like different like, shout outs, different things that people are looking for. It might cost you like, but I feel like again in a collection, if you're collecting toys and stuff like that, different things with your collection. You want to kind of set yourself apart, you know, or just add something different. I mean, at least that's what I think. I mean, if you're going to be in collecting, it's going to require you to kind of just change up things. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that you can go in and pull different items out or just kind of soup things up.
Yeah, and you need space for those things too. Like Jesus, like you need
Yeah,
real estate.
that's where that vamp was right there. I mean, yeah, you get falling toys and stuff like that.
And
That's a
even the
toy
his
collector's
tank, I mean, the
nightmare.
his
You hear
tank
things
takes
fall,
up
you're like,
space.
no,
Right.
now I got to
Right,
repose
his
them.
tank is huge.
Oh,
I
that's
had one
the next
figure
one.
I paid $60 for. It fell once and the foot snapped off. I was so pissed. I was like, I'm done.
Oh. Did you ever take it back? Did you even call the company? Because I would. If I'm paying $60,
No, I didn't
and
call the company.
having
I was
some-
just mad. I packaged her back in a little package and I filed her away.
it wasn't the Conan figure, was it?
It was a red Sonya.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So
That really
was that
hurts.
from Loose Collector, Executive Replica?
I forgot who it's from. It's
If it's from Loose Collector, they're a newer company. They would probably, if you reach out to them, they'll hook you up. I mean, again, a lot of these new companies, they want to make a name for themselves, and the customer service is top notch. I mean,
It's
you gotta
key. Yeah.
you gotta give and take. You're paying for something, and to be able to get it, yeah, that is a Loose Collector,
Loose Collection.
or
yeah.
is it the high op?
wow.
No, it says Loose
Yeah,
Collection on the back.
Yeah, you should reach out to them, Gary. They're pretty.
Like she
they're
fell
pretty,
one time and her ankle snapped right off. I'm like, why would you make the joint that weak? And she didn't even. She only fell. I'm sure she only fell half my body length off the desk behind me.
Like what, 3 inches?
What were you doing
Right.
with that figure, Gary? Huh?
He was screaming,
What
medic,
reminds me,
medic.
no, he was like face first, like
But,
right in the front of.
But yeah, that figure wasn't cheap though.
The foot was all he
You
needed,
gotta,
right?
you gotta like, send an email to them. Send an email to them. Let them know it fell off the shelf. It snapped. You know, whatever the reason was. I mean, and then get they'll replace it. They're like a lot
Now,
of
you
these
do have a
companies
lot
are
of
really
toys
good.
behind you. Do you have the white van replica that Nick uses to hang outside of schools?
I will be probably purchasing
free
that
candy?
By
Jesus.
Ramen Toys, actually.
Okay.
Holy
All right,
cow.
number 8.
A black one at that, maybe. You know, tinted windows, if you would. All right, let's see.
I got to go window left.
Fable's glad Nick's here because he's not getting picked on tonight.
And Nick is just sitting there like,
Nick is
I'm
just
used to
he's
this
like,
already.
he's like,
The camaraderie, the love.
No,
Just
you guys don't know. Nick files it away. He gets you back. Nick always
taking
does.
all
He
of
does.
oh,
all of my strength right now, not to come at Gary.
Do it, man. Do it. Cut loose.
Oh, dude. Let it loose, Nick. Let the dragon out, my brother.
That's right. You need to release all that anger.
Yeah, release
It'll
the beast.
come out in one like hour-long hate stream where he just does nothing but diss him for an hour.
This is why I hate Gary B.
yeah,
Already,
right.
he's already writing notes down.
Can I be a part of that conversation or a fly on the wall, Nick? Please say yes. Yes.
That'll be a 24-hour stream to remember.
DJ will be proud.
I'll be viewing.
All right, number 8, sir.
All right, number 8. You know, for brother JD, for brother Rage and Cajun Comics. Ooh, that almost took my head. Let me go ahead and unmute myself, and I'm gonna grab this right here.
Just when the internet was
Getting
getting good.
his tank.
Right? Oh, it just was again. You jinxed him, Fable.
I need the Cobra.
Sorry.
Come on, Cobra.
It's like watching stop motion animation.
It kind of is, isn't it? And it's going, and then are we going to see it? Maybe. I don't know. It's coming. Cobra, la 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 la.
And then he'll be like, "Oh well, that was
Yeah.
the GI Joe USS flag."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go into the bathroom and jump in the tub with. This is the Cobra. This so HasLab
Oh,
or
yeah.
Hasbro has HasLabs that they fund through our money. You know, their dream projects as they say. This being their first one for GI Joe. Again, GI Joe is their line. As soon as they hit that line, they wanted to create a Cobra His Tank. And let's see, the batteries work. Yeah, buddy,
Oh,
the batteries
nice.
work.
There
It
we
lights
go.
up. There's a Cobra light
Insignia.
that
Nice.
hits. insignia light. There.
That's
Ooh,
cool.
high beams.
Oh,
Holy crap,
Uh,
man!
Wow.
Got the fog lights. Fuck, we're all
Couple
set.
features, you know, and that's it.
Wow.
Bam, you got the Cobra light, and then it shuts off. But not only that, it came with like
Oh,
3
wait,
different
there's
figures.
more.
It came with a carded Cobra, with the Mickey Mouse ears. So I haven't opened that. I kept that carded because that'll fetch some cash. But it came with this gunner, and it came with this backlight right here. Bam, and you got another figure in the back just chilling.
Yeah, thing is amazing.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
you got the
That is
ramp, close feature. You got these rockets that kind of let me see. I want to drop this sucker.
Don't drop
You got
it.
these rockets. Yeah, right. I'll cry. If you don't want to see a grown man cry, you got these rockets that kind of come out. Oh no!
Oh,
You got a freaking
busted.
ladder.
Jesus. That's
You
it.
got a
Okay,
ladder
put
that
it back
comes
on the
out.
shelf. Step away from the
Oh,
his
that's,
tank.
I'm just gonna put it on the floor. Gonna throw it on the floor.
All
Not
right,
throw
because
it.
you're gonna play
you
with
know,
the
just
vamp
put it
later.
on- Yeah, that's it. It'll be going
Vamp and the
against.
his
That
tank.
is a
You're gonna
giant.
fight.
That is a giant vehicle, though. That's cool.
yeah. HasLab doesn't
Yeah.
play. Every time they put something out, like, I think they just dropped the Rattler 2 for
Yeah.
GI.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Rattler's
man,
gonna
that'd be
that
cool.
Rattler's gonna end on the 9th or the 8th. And that's awesome. I mean, that's a work of art. I saw that at SDCC when I was walking through Hasbro booth. Didn't even think twice. I was like, purchased. So they'll
Badass
take it from the
looking plane.
card.
Well,
Yeah,
if
Yeah,
it,
the plane
if
looks
it ends,
dope.
if it ends on the 9th, I won't be able to get it because I'll be watching Gary B on his first Whatnot sale, September 9th, 8 p.m.
September
Check it out.
7th.
Ooh,
Is it
mark
September
your calendars, y'all.
Yeah.
Mark
go.
your
But thank
calendars.
you, Nick. So, Nick, do you buy those actually yourself?
Sometimes I do. It's like Steve says, you have to pick one thing. Like if I get started with the figures, there's no stopping. There's no
Right.
stopping it. It's like I have my little things that I pick and choose here. I have the HasLab Galactus right there.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
But-
dude.
Every time they come out with something, that's at least $400, $500, $600 out of pocket. It's just
Yeah.
like it's
Oh,
My biggest regret is not getting the Unicron HasLab, man.
yeah.
oh, man,
That thing
that'd
was
be
about
cool.
$600, and I was just getting into figures. And when I saw that price, you know, it's like comic books. When I knew that comic books were $40, I said $40 for a comic book. Now I'm like, I'll pay $40 for that Miles Morales first appearance. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
No, now
I mean,
the
it's
$40
almost
fees don't
insane.
seem so bad.
Yeah.
It's
Fine.
almost
When you were
insane to
younger.
think that, right?
Right.
You're like a piece of paper. It costs that much. I'd rather have.
I
the
didn't know
toy,
any
you
better,
like-
man. I didn't know any better. I was just getting in. It was like, oh, Miles Morales #1, first and second print, $40 on eBay. I said, $40? That's insane. And then like a year, 2 years later, I'm crying like $40. I should have bought it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, baby.
Word, just hands down truth right there.
Right. And like
like
we were
just,
talking about earlier, like there's just some things I paid 50 cents to $1 for. And now all these books are selling for $6 to $12 a piece, and you paid 50 cents for them. And those are just the fillers, not even the ones that are keys in the collection.
Yeah.
The ones that are keys are all $40 to $60 books. Some of them are a couple $100 books, and it's not even major keys, just little teeny things. You're like, why? It's not. Why is it worth that much?
Yeah.
Because it's not like a
almost
lot of these
insane,
things
though.
were short printed, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with toys. It's not like they only made like 5 of them. You know,
Mhm.
they're
Yeah, that's definitely the cool thing about these HasLabs. There's like once they sold out, like the chances of you ever getting them is if someone like you get it out of their kung fu grip. Because I know guys like I wanted to be in on the Galactus, I just couldn't afford it at that time because they were doing I think they were doing the GI Joe Dragonfly copter, and I jumped in on that because GI Joe got me by the balls. Just, it's a line. It's a line that I mean, you can go army building like galore. I mean, if we're talking about HasLab and Gridiron Studios, I got these bats, and they have like
Oh,
add-on
nice.
arm pieces.
Wow.
Really,
That's
Now,
a
who's your
ride.
I have like
favorite?
7 bats, guys. I mean, who the hell needs 7 Cobra officers? This guy here.
Yeah.
Well, you
freaking
can't have an
gotta-
army without them.
Yeah. You got to have a proper army.
Now, who's your favorite
Yeah, I
GI
mean-
Joe character?
It's got to be Snake Eyes. I mean, to have a commando like a ninja, silent but deadly. You know, like I freaking love. They've done Snake Eye figures like to death, but there was one actually that came out with the first. It was like one of the. I think it was an NYCC exclusive. It came with an art piece. Let me see, and it was like their first figure that released that they had. Let me see.
We'll
Without,
ask him in a second, Katie.
let me just kind of gently,
Careful.
Easy,
Careful.
easy,
slowly.
slowly but quicker,
Sorry, guys.
slowly but fast.
Slowly but quicker.
Careful.
All right, so it came with this. It came with this like art print, this cool ass
Holy
art
shit,
print.
look at that.
Wow. Framed.
That's
Dude.
cool.
Let me see. And then it came with these weapon pieces that they. Let me see. So it came with this like stand.
Hmm.
Oh,
Like
the
a
G. It
little
looks like a comic book
G.I.
too.
Joe
Oh, that's
stand.
cool.
Yeah, they got the figure, the first to market figure there, and then some of these weapons. So they got like axes, sais, a long sword, kunai or not kunais, kamas, and a staff. Some of these figures.
Wow.
But
No.
these are pretty cool. I mean,
They are.
It's this set. It's this set itself. I mean, it's cost. When you try to look at the prices, they're crazy. You ever want to get into figure mods? Oh yeah, not bases but backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the next step as a collector, because as you're collecting toys,
Yep.
not all of them are going to be great, right? You got to mod them to kind of make them part of your collection. Some of them don't have a sense of like certain articulation, so you kind of have to mod them, like the neck pieces or backgrounds like dioramas. I purchased mine, so like I have artists that create dioramas, or if I have an idea that of something I want, I'll reach out to like a diorama guy. Like for Street Fighter, there's this guy that's doing the Ken stage, 3D printed and insulation foam, paints, everything of that nature. And I was like, sign me up, coach, I'm down. But I also have a one from this guy named Lawless Studios, who's also on Instagram, and he did like this huge sewer dio, and it's like a just wrecked to shop. I mean, the lighting, you could do tons of things with it, and
Wow.
his artist eye for things, it's like a real realistic touch. There's like a sewer level full of like he makes dirty like just the things look so realistic. He has cityscapes, you name it, he does it. It's costly. But I feel like if you are collecting and you want to, like you're
Yeah, but it's
posing
an
your
art form
figures
as
together
well.
like this. I'm sorry?
Yeah, but it's an art form as well.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, I want to support as many people as I can. Aside from like supporting bigger companies, I want to support third-party companies that are coming up that have a dream, that want to get out in the market and want to do things. I mean, I live for that. For me, I like to support the little guy. I like to support people. It's like Kickstarter things that people are doing in the community, in the comic book community.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to give a piece of myself and let them know, like, hey, you got a dream, I'm for it. Like I want to make sure, actions speak louder than words, right? So I think in the toy community as well, there's a guy that just kind of came up with a toy himself from the ground up, just a toy collector, and I've known him for a while. I started watching his reviews prior to even getting into like toy collecting. That like it was almost a no-brainer. It's like, hey, I've known you for a while. I want to support your dream. I want to get in on this ground level of your figure. I mean, and it was successful. I mean, he's working on another Kickstarter for another figure. So it's
Nice.
it's just something that you got to do. I feel like it's a responsibility. And, if you're collecting, you want to give back. I mean, you just don't want to take in. You want to be able to kind of give and leave a mark to others.
Nice. All right, number 9.
Number 9. So speaking of the competitor to Hasbro, I would say, and Chef also brought it up. I just got this recently. There's this other company called Action Force. So Action Force, the line originally started in England, but there's this guy named Bobby Valla who worked for Hasbro. Whoa, Michelle, Moonlit Comics, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. Good to see you. they licensed Action Force, and he took Steel Brigade. Right, Hasbro is a bigger fish, right? And I can understand him. You know, like I used to work in medical insurance, so I worked with one of the big three companies. And at times you're just a number. So when you get laid off, you get bitter because you're just like, you're going to pay somebody my salary, but less, and you're going to work them more. And they just totally take advantage of people. And it sucks. It's a bad feeling. So he used to work for Hasbro. He decided to start his own company called, it's called Valaverse. It's Action Force. And he has these figures. He just released this, and this is a fraction of a cost. This thing costs $189.
Wow.
It's bigger than the Hiss tank. It's a Revani tank. It has oh shit, did I break it? No, I didn't. It has these rocket effects that make it look like it's blasting from the back.
Rocket out? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It has working doors, you know.
Holy crap.
You
Yeah,
get
fully
you
articulation.
can take them off. The wheels go, you know, front and back.
How many cup holders though?
Yeah, how many cup holders?
3 cup holders. Yeah. They really, and then they got this back entrance for a
Oh, the
gunner.
hatch. Yep, for the groceries.
Yeah, the hatch for the gunner.
groceries.
Yep. Yeah, and then it has a baby seat, you know, car seat for a baby. You know,
Little Sally can. Oh, can I push the button, Daddy? I want to
has
make
a
the
working
rockets go boom,
ledge.
boom.
Oh my god. Let me see. It came with a driver too. This driver is part of their
I mean, that
series
sucker's
5.
almost as big as the tank.
It is.
Bigger than
It's
that
So
thing.
bigger, yeah.
It's even bigger. That's what she said.
Or he said.
True. Let me see. Let's put this bad boy down.
Comes with a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So
Get your Starbucks in there.
let me go ahead and pose this figure. So it has a little bit of not even a little bit. It's new articulation. He's done. He's made his figures. There's clearly been improvements on these figures because I'll show you some of the older ones. But neck articulation is like range and motion as far in figures is something that I feel like is getting better as they are working along. So if he was like doing a little fight pose, you got, you know, something like that. His neck can go like, you know, around and around, the waist swivel.
Snake eyes look.
Yeah.
And Steve, DVH is trying to start a fight with you. He's saying that Action Force has a better theme than G.I. Joe.
Oh, come on.
Come
No.
on.
No.
That's fighting words, Dr. Von Hoot.
That's why we threw the tea in the Boston in the water.
Yeah. You know what? I'll meet you in the wrestling ring, dude. I'll put my freaking UFC title up. All right.
Oh,
But
there's a
correct me
bold
if I'm
statement.
wrong. Isn't Action Force G.I. Joe just the English version of it? Because
It
they
is.
couldn't put
It is.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
It is. That's Fable be knowing. That's it, baby. Damn, with the knowledge. Dropping knowledge like Galileo, brother.
There you go.
I like it. Yeah. Now what, Dr. Von Hoot? Huh?
Yeah. Tuck it.
He's like, you say one more word and I'm coming in the ring. Yeah? But there, I mean, I again, he's done wonders with the line. He has his own like show with the toy community. Just calls a spade a spade. I can't hate him for it, you know, at all. You know, like because there's just different people have different ways of looking at the business, and he's been in the business. He's kind of put his time in to develop a new toy line, and then to take it, you know, to another level. I would say it's definitely a competitor.
And accessory heavy too, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking if we're talking army building.
Army building.
You got the Swarm. These are their
Oh boy.
tech figures. You got a flyer right here. You got a little gunner. Let me see. Simple posing, vanilla as hell. And then you got I just kind of modded this guy with a vest, a different head sculpt. You know, the guns are better. The guns are in a harder plastic. The durometer would be the level of plastic or the strength of the plastic versus the little gummy you know, like bendy freaking
Okay, because I was just gonna pretend that I knew what durometer was.
you know, here, you know, we educate our toy collectors. This is another one of his figures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like this effect piece where the freaking
The bullets are
Oh,
ejecting.
yeah.
bullets are
Casings.
flying
The
out.
casing's coming out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick.
His effect pieces are awesome. I mean, he's really done a great job with the line. I mean, and he's got a great fan base. They're diehard.
Yeah.
You know, they're either fans of Hasbro. They call guys that love Hasbro and that stick up for the big guy Hasbros. But
Mhm.
you know, like it's
There's a lot
just
of those.
yeah.
That really
They're
hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings every time I do.
And so I had a guy on 2 weeks ago, Mantis Studios. He's just a 21-year-old. His name's Dom, and he was showing off those the same Action Force figures you had there, the guys with the wings.
Yeah, the Swarm.
Yeah, because he really likes the Action Force series. He buys a lot of them.
Yeah, and they're dope. I mean, they're coming up. I have like some of these guys in red and black. I army built the hell out of GI Joe troopers and like Valaverse figures, like those guys. Because eventually, I mean, if I am going to get into ACBA, if I was doing Spider-Man, I mean, he's not going to just fight one villain. I want him to I want to create a scene that of him beating the shit out of other villains and stuff like that.
So
Or
now you
just
can have
simple,
GI Joe versus Action Force.
you gotta open that universe up, you know, because it's your own universe when you're buying figures. You know, it's your
But
own
if they were
imagination.
smart, they would. If they cross
They
those
would team up.
universes over.
Mm-hmm. I'd be down. And in fact, matter of fact, I am down.
You are down. You're
So
already
in
doing
GI Joe, you got the Joes and you got the Cobras.
Mhm.
What
And
are
then you got
the two factions in Action Force? What are the good and the bad called?
So they're the Steel Brigade is the license that Bobby took, right? So I mean, Hasbro got caught with their pants down. Steel Brigade is part of their figure GI Joe line. So he took that sucker. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm taking your license and I'm gonna make the Steel Brigade. Made him even look better. I have one over here. Let me kind of, damn it, my headset is gonna take me. Let me just
Stretching.
All right, sorry about that. So this is their Steel Brigade, and
Oh,
it looks
man,
exactly like
that's
G.I.
really
Joe,
nice.
right? This is an Arctic Steel Brigade, but the head sculpt is exactly of that Steel Brigade for GI Joe. But now Hasbro has to go with like a Steel Cadet or something like that. They had to rename it, so they stuck it to the man. They're like, Hasbro, clap, clap, and he stuck it to them and was like, okay. I mean, and he's a straight shooter. I mean, it was a win for him. It was like, hey, you left your pants down. I took that license. I'm gonna make it my own. So you got like Action Force is the line as far as like the good guys. You got Steel Brigade, and then you got different factions. The storyline even is different. He made a comic book out of it, so each state has a faction. And so you have your Action Force, you have your Steel Brigades, you have your Swarm, the Swarm Troopers, and then you have this guy named Karok, which is over here. And he has his Garrison Cavalry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's Bobby De La Ghetto.
on that guy.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Bobby.
Nice Ares
Dude,
helmet.
that's the Action Force. That's the Action Force version of Bobby De La Ghetto.
There
I
you
think
go.
Bobby got a lawsuit on his hands.
That's
Dude,
a-
Bobby,
that's
go talk to him,
that's a-
dude. Because
That's
they
a
did you.
Dreadnought and Destro crossover, man.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So
He's a
and
redneck Destro.
he's already on well past his 100th figure. He's in Series 5, almost going into Series 6. He has another vehicle that he's producing, and it's like an Oro helicopter from like Dune, but it looks like a bug. It looks like a Scanata or whatever, and it looks dope.
Cicada?
And it's there you go, and it's like a
Cicada
fraction
bug.
of a cost. I mean, you're gonna find yourself spending. You're gonna look at it and be like, "Am I gonna spend Inja the Beheader, Benja? What's going on, girl?" You're gonna find yourself at a quorum, right? You're gonna be like, "Do I spend $400 or $350 on GI Joe, or do I buy $189 vamp or not a vamp, a
Action
Vanguard?"
Force.
Action Force.
But- But is it like I'm going to spend that money on a Transformers, or am I going to buy a GoBot? Is exactly
That's true. It's true. It's true. You can look at it like that, but you know, like GI Joe's been around forever, right? So you know the name. It has its brand. But I look at it like, okay, well, this is a startup group. They're successful. They have a great following, and to be honest, like their articulation in the figures. I mean, they've gotten so much better. They're doing justice for the toy community, right? They're giving you extra hands, extra heads, weapons that are not bendy. If there's something that goes on with the figures, they replace them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Depending on how you come at a company, right? I mean, you can come at them like a jerk and be like, I'm buying X amount of figures for this, rather than just saying, hey, something happened to the figure, you mind replacing it? You know, you get more bees with honey. And I feel like, you know, sometimes consumers could be so ruthless. I mean, because we want what we want, right? It's something that we're kind of spoiled in the sense. We have so much. We're able to get tangible things. And it's just the way you direct yourself and how you're going to do it. But
Right.
I feel like it's a slippery slope with GI Joe, because they're going to have problems. And on top of that, like Gary said, I mix my universes. I'm buying up these things, and I'm like, I'm a fan. I'm in.
Nice. All right. Number 10.
Last but certainly not least. All right. So before like coming into like comics, I used to read a lot of manga and I still watch anime, and there's a lot of figures I have. I mean, I brought 2 out, but these are series of mine that are like near and dear to my heart. I don't know if you guys have heard of this animated TV series called Demon Slayer or
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z or Super, but there's this character by the name of Tanjiro, and the storyline's awesome. Animation just is top tier, god level. But I got Buzz Mods, Tanjiro, again, soft goods, wired cape. You can get a lot of movement out of it. There's effect pieces that come with it, a sword. A lot of these import figures that they're coming out with have done wonders. I mean, they really go to market. They entice you to buy things that you love, and I'm on board for it. I love it.
I've never seen
SH Figure Arts
figures.
Goku,
There you
Ultra
go.
Instinct.
Ooh.
This is SH Figure Arts. SH Figure Arts is in Japan. They're well known. We need to meet up for an anime con for sure. There's so much you could do with like manga and animation. I think it really invokes emotion. I mean, all things do, right? I mean, whether it's be like movies or certain things, they all have an influence. But I feel like the Japanese know how to tug on your heartstrings just a little more. They're just like break you.
There's one I love, and it's always been my favorite since it's been out. Nothing's ever beat it, no matter what I've watched. I've never seen the figures of them.
What?
But I absolutely love the original Bubblegum Crisis series. It is one of my favorites.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like an
Bubblegum
assassin
Crisis
series.
is amazing, and to have those mechs and the women, and then also have them as their group. And
I've never seen those figures.
one of the best soundtracks in anime too.
I'll have to check that out. I usually like to go backwards too and kind of look at some of the older animation, because
There was a second series, not as good as the first. That first series is amazing. Second series is good, but not great. First series is great. It was 8 episodes.
okay, I'll have to check that out. My brother does he still collects manga, reads a lot more manga, probably watches a lot more anime than I do. But yeah, he's always keeping me up to date. He's always.
See, they're already talking. The main girl, Pris from Bubblegum Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis. I will look that up.
Yes, Kanyewa Hurricane. That's such a great song. It's still, Katie, it's still on my playlist.
Katie knows what's up. I mean, she's got her ear to the ground.
Well, Katie and I talk a lot of K-pop, so we're both K-pop people.
Okay, all right. I'm interested here.
If you've ever listened to any of my shorts, it's almost all K-pop songs or Dua Lipa.
Okay. I'll have to check them out a little more, Gary B. Get myself out, get my ear to the ground as well. But those are all the figures I have. I mean, I try to like I said, I was in the midst of working. I got stuck at lunch, and during that time for lunch, I was like, let me pull out a ton of figures. Let me go ahead and kind of just cultivate something. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I got most of the stuff I wanted. There's this Michael Jordan Mayfex. Oh, son, the GOAT.
What's he got on his feet?
Oh, you already he got
The 11 Concord 11s. All right, nice.
yeah,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, there's figures like this I have. I mean, there's just so much. I'm a lover of pop culture. I'm a lover of just different lines and different properties. I mean, like we all are. I mean, we all have these collections of comic books or movies that we watch. I mean, it encompasses just your childhood, and for me, I love it. I mean, I'm absolutely thankful that I'm on the show with you guys to get to share my collection, my love for the hobby, and get to know you guys a lot more. I mean, that's what it all becomes down to, like connection.
Well, you've been on here once. It won't be the only time. I can guarantee
Oh
that.
no, I'll be back. I will be back for sure.
I mean, look at Fable's face. He's like, he keeps dragging me back.
No, Fable's like, now you're gonna post. Full house. Yeah, that's my brother right there. I got to listen. I've not listened, so I got to listen to my older brother.
Like, so that was your 10. Did you have an 11th with a personal story or a spec pick?
Oh man,
if you don't, you don't. I'm just curious. I kind of feel like Action Force is your spec.
Yeah, it seems like
Action Force would probably be my spec. I mean, they're working on
this company while they're on the ground up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I started collecting them right when they kind of started, and I off and on, right? Because there was a lot, there was a mixture of things. I feel like in this toy community or any community, there can be drama, and there was just like fighting amongst these, like different people, and I'm more or less, I hate the drama when it comes down to it. I'm like, figure it out. We're all grown men, and grown-ups and adults, and we can all agree to disagree in certain things. So it kind of took me away. I'll bring back Fanime. Oh,
yeah, from Inge's lips to your ears.
Yeah, Inge's been telling me. She's just been in my ear, and here I stand trying to get Eric, my brother Eric, some time. We will. We are working on setting up time, do some pre-recordings. There's a lot of things in the background that we're kind of talking about. So I definitely do want to get back to that, doing more content too. Work, adulting.
The DVH want to know if Tremendous is at Kenshiro.
Tremendous is a Kenshiro. I do have a Kenshiro figure actually too, but it's in the other room. Yeah, classics never die. Yeah, that would probably be my spec pick. I think they're making waves. They're starting to do a lot, and it's great to see companies grow, especially third-party companies or startup companies that are wanting to kind of produce and get their vision out there. Again, I'm a lover of somebody that's working hard and somebody that's kind of creating a dream and making it coming to fruition. Being able to see from the ground up is a great thing, because it's also motivating. It's motivating if you would ever like to kind of change your direction in a profession. I mean, you would want to follow in those footsteps, right? You're not going to just be like, I want to create toys and create a toy. I mean, you want to get engulfed in that kind of facet and then work your way up. It's a great thing to see.
Wow.
Got one more. I got one more figure with a bang. Mon Ami.
All right, let's see it.
Oh,
nice.
This is Mayfix Gambit. The effects right here, they're like floating. This guy is in Southern California. His name is Can of Beams on Instagram, and he does like effect pieces. I love posing figures, man. I love the whole anatomy of it, kind of making it look like it was coming out of the page, like he was jumping away. But again, soft goods, wire capes, you name it. It holds a special place for me. I love figures. I mean, I'm always going to be collecting figures, probably.
You know how long that figure been waiting for that? He about to make a name for himself here.
I'm waiting for somebody to say it.
Oh man, I'm glad Nick said it. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I don't think I could have finished. I probably would have killed it, And
I wouldn't have said it as good as him. That's for sure. Oh, good stuff. All right, let's go around the house here and see what everyone's got coming up. Steve, we'll start with you, sir. What do you got coming up, buddy?
Tomorrow I'll
okay,
be doing.
Steve
Oh.
White. My bad.
Okay, which Steve?
Steve,
Yeah, you're gonna have to
sorry,
be more
Steve White first.
specific.
We always end with the guests to see what they got coming up.
You got it. My bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my voices choices tomorrow night, and I'm just going through my collection on Mondays and figuring out the whole StreamYard thing. I might start doing some lives on Sunday nights, so we'll see about that. That's it for me.
Yeah. The voice.
All right, and Nick, what's coming up for you, sir?
I want to pose a question to Mr. Hiphopsnme before I say where I'm going to be. Usually I like to ask this question of all Gary's guests, but for you, I can modify it a little bit. If you had the choice of one, just one, already established figure line, hip-hop song, or comic book, which panel would you be in? Which cover would you be in? Which verse, which group, and which action figure line would you be in?
Holy crap!
Ooh,
You could think about it for a little bit. Catch me Friday nights on DJ Lynx's channel on the Illuminati, 9 p.m.
Real.
Eastern. Yeah, well, 5 guys.
Realist.
He's thinking. All right, so Fable, what's coming up for you, sir?
You can check me out this Thursday on Blood Splatter Chatter, where we're doing PCP Horror Fest, continuing with Candyman. We just did Hellraiser yesterday.
The original Tony Todd one, right?
That's right. Yep. So yeah, come check us out there. And that's really what I got coming up. PCP Horror Fest, man. Check it out.
And a great show you guys had on the Happy Death Day movies, which I love.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up for
they
that,
killed
Gary,
it,
man. We really appreciate it.
All right, and in 2 nights' time, we have Zach's Collections on. So he's going to be doing an all-card episode of the 1011. And then next week, I have a busy week. We have Big Herm on Tuesday for the 1011, his first show.
Herminio!
Yep, so he'll be on. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be his first time
Man,
on.
right there.
Then we have Dismay Comics on promoting their Kickstarter on Thursday.
Dismay.
And Katie, if you're available, certainly love to have you. And then on the 13th, me, Gore, Robert, and John's Comics for Kids are doing a stream on kindness. So that's coming up next Friday.
What are you doing
on
on
Very
that
cool.
panel? What are you doing on that panel, Gary?
I'm there to make sure you don't show up for it.
Oh, so you're a bouncer.
Oh,
Someone's got
dear
to gatekeep you, Nick. It may as well be me.
God.
All right. And all right, Hip Hop Steve, what's coming up for you, sir? Anything?
So this Saturday we'll be doing Saturday morning toy box on the Nearing Nirvana channel. We are every Saturday, if not if we decide to not do Saturday, usually because one of us is doing something. But we talk about pre-orders, with everything across the board when it comes to action figures, statues, and a whole bunch of other things. So we have news. We share our mail calls that we got throughout the week. And that's pretty much it. The Saturday morning toy box, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or sometimes at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, depending on the guys. So usually 10 a.m. though.
Nice. All right. Excellent. And also, I forgot to mention, check me out this Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. So whatever time that is for wherever you're at, figure it out. I can't. I don't want to Google it. So,
Carry the one.
but 5 p.m. Eastern time, I have my first Whatnot show.
Heck yeah.
So
Conan's going up for sale.
right. And a big thanks to the Princess of Comic Gains and Zach and Adam for helping me out, getting it set up and all ready. So thank you to them. Appreciate them. But that's it for tonight, guys. As we like to say, I want to thank all my co-hosts because the show's better with more people here. Nick will say more than my personality, and I'll agree with him. And of course, to our first-time guest, Steve, I hope you'll come back on the show, and maybe we can do a and in the hot seat with you, which is a straight interview show, and learn about your collecting history a little bit more.
Sure, would love to come by.
So we'll schedule that out. I'll get you some dates. Now we got you in the 1011. We'll get you on in the hot seat. And also the crowd. We had a great crowd tonight. Thanks for coming out to support these guys. Everybody's links are in the description below except for Nick's. I got to add him. He was a last minute addition. Maybe I won't add him. You saw he didn't offer much. No, we'll get Nick in there. Definitely go check out Nick. Nick, are you bringing back the show with you and Ignacio soon, bud?
We have to get life out of the way first, but you may be able to check us out some Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern.
And you guys should. Look, all picking aside, Nick's one of the best people I've ever met in this community. I love the guy to death. Anything him and Ignacio are doing, you guys better show up, support them, and watch them because they're great people. They talk about real things on their show, and it's absolutely fantastic. And having said that, we're going to end this like we always end this. We're just going to say, keep it casual.
Peace out, y'all. Much love.